Once again, it's on Chat with Kip. I have a special guest, really good friend of mine, one of the most entertaining people you will ever meet in your life. If you give this guy a mic, he will shut it down. Today, we're going to talk about a value of an individual and what it means to a person or a relationship. And then we're going to talk a little bit about travel. I know previously in my other shows, we talked about how important travel was to me and my family. And this guy came on a most amazing trip with us. We had a time that was once in a lifetime kind of opportunity to travel across the United States Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands. So I wanted to give him his due just. Like when I say this guy is an amazing guy, really good friend, somebody I trust with my life, man, with my family life, with my kids' life. And I thought it was important for him to be on this show because he brings so much value to me and my family all together. So let's welcome Arman Hoyle.
I
Welcome
appreciate
to
you,
the
man.
show,
I'm gonna go like this, man.
Arman.
Making me feel great and welcome. If you ever want somebody to do an intro for you, this guy right here.
I told you once he get this mic in his hand, it's
Yeah,
something else.
it's a
Man,
blessing.
tell me about yourself a little bit. Tell the audience,
Well,
what I
everybody,
already know.
well, born and raised right here, Houston, Texas, A-Leaf, Mo City, did all the migration like a lot of African American families did. Went to Elsick High School. Shout out to the Mighty Rams. Then walked on at U of H, where we met our mutual friend. Well, I met your mutual friend, my mutual friend, Anthony. Arthur Lee, and started running track there, got out of it, started doing radio, then in teaching. And fast forward 20 plus years later, I meet this guy right here at poker, and we've been brothers from another mother ever since. So he talks about my value to him. I talk about my value to this young man. And so what's better than having friends with having brothers that you met a couple years ago? That's awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. And man, one of the most important things. So Orman was in my wedding, right? He was one of my groomsmen, and he gave a spectacular speech. Like he said, I think I had all my friends from Baytown there pretty much, and I put them in order from the person I knew the longest to the least. And it's funny because Orman was the person that I guess I knew the
The
least amount
least,
of
yeah.
time, but he touched my man. He touched me when he gave his speech, and I want
All
you to
right.
tell him
So
about value of
so
individual.
first of all, the speech, when I got done with it, I went back to the table and my girlfriend was like, "What was that?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "That's not what Kip asked you to talk about. He asked you to talk about how they met." So I go up there, nervous, of course, had a couple of beverages, and I just talked about value. And so many times we have to figure out, why is this person in my life? Why is that person in my life? And so the thing I could think about at the moment, they say the spirit touch you was the value that your wife brought to your life. And so once that happened, I just opened my mouth and just the importance of people in your life and their value. You can know them for 5 years, you can know them for 2 years, you can know them for 3 years. And what is the value to your friend group, or what is your value to that person? And when we had your, what was it, not reception, but you had the bridal,
The rehearsal,
the
the rehearsal
rehearsal,
dinner.
the
Yep, yep.
rehearsal dinner. And he talked about everyone. He was like, I'm thinking my value should have to come like his other friends and maybe financially. And he was like, Armin, I can go to you for advice. And that really touched me because I'm like, why is this guy, the successful guy, coming to me for advice? But it wasn't in the way that I thought. It wasn't the value that I thought I had to bring to the circle of new friends I had at the time. So, hey, value is what that person or people do for you at that time in that moment in your life.
Absolutely. And man, I took it a step further. Like I use this for business as well because I
Yeah.
value everybody. Um, it's funny, like I know we're athletes,
Yep.
so-called jocks, but
Yeah.
honestly, we are super nerdy, right?
Yeah.
We are both history buffs.
Uh,
Orman taught history
10 years.
10 years, and now he's a PE coach for my sons. My son
Yeah.
is in his class, which is super amazing. It's
See him
always
every
good to have
day
somebody to
in his
watch.
white T-shirt.
Yep. So for me, value was the uniqueness an individual brings to you and your life. So I value everybody differently. I feel like everybody has a place and a role. And man, for Orman, I call him when I just need somebody to talk to. I know he's always reliable. He'll always answer his phone. If I need him to be somewhere, he's always there. So I value his time, his trust, his loyalties, just our friendship and brotherhood. Man, it's funny. Orman sends me and a group of friends. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell y'all about our group of friends here in a second. When we talk about travel. He sends a Bible verse every morning to get our day started, and man, you just don't know how much that does for me to get my day going. Because man, I'm balls to the walls during the day for business. So from like 9 a.m. to about 3 p.m., man, I'm really really on it. I don't work a full 8 hours. Like I feel like I can get everything I needed done
Yeah.
in between those time periods. So the value that he brings and people around me bring to me and my companies, man, it's just tremendous. I see homeless people all the time. I talk to them because they bring value as well. Like I have one guy, I might see him every morning. I try to bring him a bottle of water every
Yeah.
morning, but I feel like he brings value because I know he's going to be there. He always waits. He always smiles to me. He always say thank you, and I really, really respect that. And then I even talk to some other CEOs of other companies, and I value their opinion, their advice. It's just, man, that just really, really hit me.
Yeah.
Like when you say, hey, man, everybody has value. Everybody brings something unique and different to the table. So I thought that was very, very, very important. I also want to talk to y'all about Arman. So Arman is, like I said, one of the most entertaining people that you're ever gonna meet. Talk to them about field dates, your hosting,
All right.
the comedian, the
Well,
entertainer. Tell them
well,
about the mic that Arman, Joe College,
well,
right?
it start. All right. So you've seen me out and about somewhere here and there, maybe back in the mid 2000s, right when the club scene, all this stuff was getting on. Used to intern at different radio stations, worked at the box, worked at 1049. So this Joe College was created because I worked with Mean Green at 1049. They called me College Boy because I went to college and asked me all the time why I was doing this. But it started before that at Astroworld.
Okay.
So working at Astroworld, I was working in games, and the desired game was to go down and work the scale, which was to get your weight area. So once you got to the scale, you had 8 hours a day to just be on the mic and talk, just be on the mic and talk. And for every day, summer, spring, Halloween fest, you're honing your skills. And fast forward, you work some clubs, you learn about the club game. Shout out to everybody still in the club game. You're doing it big right now. I don't know how you do it, but you're doing it. I'm more of a, like I said, a contract guy. I do a lot of quinceañeras. I do weddings, receptions. Of course, if you know Chad Cossie, we do field dates, and I MC all the field dates for him. We be at Spring Creek, and we have fun. We have fun over there. It's like a big PE for kids. You can come out there and meet people, have fun, play games, and it's a better way to break the ice instead of sitting at the bar with the loud music and just trying to get somebody's number from across the restaurant or the club. The comedian thing is still a dream, so I gotta quit being scared, do like these guys do, and just go do it and just go talk on the stage. Because being honest, it seems weird, but it's weird sitting here and hearing Kip throw all these things that's of positivity on me, and I'm not controlling it because I'm not the one talking, and that's kind of like a weird introvert extrovert thing. As long as I'm talking, I can control the scene. So this is a little different sitting here, but that's the wrap of it as far as me being a guy who likes to be on the mic. It's easy, it's fun, and people have fun. I'm good at what I do. I truly am good at what
Oh
I do.
man, he is awesome at what he do, and it's funny because I'm the person who don't really talk too much. Like I hate being on the mic, to be honest. So we took this trip, and he was like, "Hey, Kip, you need to do more. You should do a podcast. Tell your
Yeah,
story." I'm more of a one-on-one kind of person,
yeah.
so I like this environment where it's one-on-one, but I'm talking to the masses. And man, thanks to him, it kind of got me out of my shell a little bit to be more vocal, more visual. And so, man, thank you so much
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
man taking me out of my shell and
in the
making me
business
do
you're
something
in,
different.
in the business you're in, from knowing you, you always did the right things. You made certain moves, but people forget once you get, especially for guys, and you know this, guys, a lot of business gets done at the cigar bars. A lot of business gets done, just sitting around having a drink, maybe been on a golf course. And so you don't have to be the greatest speaker. You don't have to be just be open, honest, and then be able to just be a part of the pack. Go talk to guys. And then you learn, and you learn the biggest key, which is to be quiet sometimes and listen. That's the biggest learning one right there.
Man, let's talk a little bit about the value of each other, what we bring to the table. I know we took a 7 day, well, actually, it's probably like 8 to 9
It
days.
was
It was an
8 days.
extended trip.
It was a
Um,
extended trip.
and when I say we was in close counters,
Yeah, yeah,
we
close.
was in really, really close counters for 8 days straight.
So
But before we get to that,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to tell y'all. So we started the travel group. So we have a travel club, and honestly, based on this trip that we took, we built a bond, the
yeah.
four of us. So I'm gonna let Orma kind of explain this trip. Like this is one of the most amazing trips. So y'all stay tuned because we're gonna set up a few more trips as well. So this is the travel club bit of what I talked about in previous episodes. So let's talk about one of your most memorable trips that we recently took.
Well, it is my most memorable trip because it was, how trips go. They start in a group chat, then you finally go. So have the group chat. We finally make it to the trip. We get to Miami. we have to stay over a night because we can't be there. So that already squashed the plans of everybody being there on Monday.
Well, first let's start back the trip because they don't know where we went yet, so
Oh,
they don't know
okay.
where we was going. But tell
So
them how it all started. So we was in the
group
group chat,
chat, you
and
found
I was like,
something.
"Hey, man, I watched this show called Below Deck."
Of
I was
course.
like, "Oh, we should get us a private yacht. Like, let's take a private yacht, a group of us. We'll get us a chef and a captain,
Yeah.
and just sail the ocean, right? Sail the open seas." And so I sent in the group text like, "Hey, anybody want to go? This is the price. I already paid for it. Whatever you can contribute,
Yeah.
let's just go." So tell them how many people responded and
Well,
what happened.
well, it works like this. You have your time and you have your schedule. So for some people that didn't go, a lot of it was the scheduling because of the days. But me being a teacher and I've been there in the district for 18 years, I had the days. I have a good relationship with my principal. I took off. And so it whittles down to four of us, and the four of us have to go. And, you get excited day by day, month. Oh, man, it's getting closer. What are we going to do? How is it going to be? And I like this one because I loved it because I had no expectations. Everybody does resorts, everybody does a cruise, but nobody does the private catamaran. So where I work at, everybody always says, "Hey, what trip you taking?" I say, "Oh, I'm about to be on the boat." They go, "Oh, you about to go on a cruise?"
About to take a cruise,
I was
right?
like,
I thought the
"Yeah, but
same
not,
thing. Yeah.
how we have to do in the community." I say, "Yeah, but not, more private." "What do you mean?" "Oh, well, the original plan, we're going to the U.S. Virgin Islands."
Yep.
"Oh," they like, "Oh, so," I say, "No, it's just private catamaran." "Oh my God, you're doing it big." And so that, it takes it to a whole stratosphere. Thank this guy, by the way, always taking experience to the next level. Supposed to be in Miami to get to St. Thomas, don't make it, have to stay the night. Then we finally land. Me and my girl land, and then, Meredith calls me, "Where you guys at?" We have a problem, which ended up being a blessing. The
Yep.
boat's not here. Where's the boat? The boat is in the British Virgin Islands. Hope you have your passport. So now what do we say? We're taking a boat to a boat. And man, getting on that boat was so awesome. We get to the boat. I'm expecting the captain and his wife, but I see a young lady pulling the box. So I say, maybe it's one of those kind of lifestyles. And so we're like, we and you, what did we see? We saw each other. Can't believe we're here.
For real. Like from the beginning, we couldn't believe we were there. So we had to take a water taxi to get to the yacht.
A water taxi
So
to
it's
the
like,
yacht,
let's boat to boat.
boat to boat. Y'all can use that saying, boat to boat. And so, we get on the boat, snacks. Once again, everybody loves the experience of when something comes to fruition. We made these plans, we got through it, money got spent, contribute whatever. Now we're on this boat, and some little skinny guy just walks on the boat with no supplies. I'm like, who's this skinny guy with no supplies? I'm like, he needs to have something in his hand so we can
Right?
get this boat to moving. Lo and behold, don't be judgmental. He's the captain, Captain Dwight.
Yeah. Shout out to Captain Dwight and Chef Pia.
And just the whole trip in total, trying to figure out, because trips will make or break friendships. How are we going to do this every day? So as the days went on, traditions got established. You wake up in the morning, personally, your chef personally makes you breakfast, whatever little menu they have. And then, I say, "Hey man, my Bible verse just popped out. So read a Bible verse, eat, look
Bless
at
the
the
food.
water,
I mean, we
yeah, bless the food.
and we had a lot of meals
A
throughout the
lot of
day.
meals, and we break down the scripture if we could, on the boat, and then kind of look around for like 20 minutes. Then, hey, time to have some beverages,
Right?
and just snorkeling, just so much. The karaoke. What was your favorite part of the trip?
Man, honestly, like I'm not a big swimmer.
Yeah,
So the snorkeling and diving
yeah.
off, we went to one bar and
Willie
we did
T's.
some diving off of it. I'm not a big swimmer at all. So and it's funny, like some of the other ones wasn't a big swimmer at
Yeah,
all. Like it was a big difference, right? Getting seasick,
yeah. Getting in the
just in
water.
general. But man, let me tell you how great he brought his teaching into it, and his significant other was there.
Yeah,
She kind of was like, "No, I don't really do swimming." I'm like, "Candace, I don't do swimming either, right?"
yeah,
So we in it together. But it's funny, like after day two,
yeah.
man, she was swimming to
Could,
shore.
couldn't keep
We
out the
was
water.
snorkeling. We was in the water at least 3 to 4 hours, five
Yeah,
hours every day. It was like he said, like a
yeah,
ritual. Wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, go snorkel, come back, chill, go swimming, go sightseeing.
yeah,
But I think the most the most entertaining part was when you grabbed the mic at Foxy's. So I
yeah,
don't know where we was at. We was at another island.
yeah.
We
Van
docked.
Dyke, so we can look
Yep,
it up.
yep. And they had like
Joyce
a
Van
karaoke,
Dyke.
small little bar. It had some other people from yachts there, and I mean people from all over the world. So I don't know if they even could understand English, but
Yeah,
man, they was like doing karaoke. It was kind of quiet. The place was kind of. I mean, it was really really nice place. But it was
open
really
air.
chill. It was like real laid back. I mean, it was beach life, right?
Yeah,
So they had karaoke. Another guy was on there talking. But then when Arman got on the mic, man, he shut this place down. People came from other yachts. They brought their tenders and they boats over. And this one lady at the end of the night, man, told Arman he is phenomenal. So for the rest of the trip, I called him Mr. Phenomenal
Yeah.
because it was like such an amazing memory. He put on the whole show. I think we was there for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Shut the place down, and then it's funny. We'll get back on the yacht, and our captain will take us to other islands. Everybody knew Orman from that one night, so we go to a whole different island. Hey man, you was the guy in all pink who was on
Yeah.
the mic. You got the crowd going. You tell the story because it
So
was it was it was something to
before we
see.
even got on the mic, I mean the boat, excuse me, we had theme nights. So it might be tropical, it might be blue, it might be black. This day was all pink, so I ordered from one of the sites from overseas, no free pub here. And so I got my Pepto Bismol pink outfit, shades included. And so the cab is gonna take us to wherever. So we get to Foxy's open air, nice place. Cap knows everybody. Everybody's his cousin. And so, I had one ultimate margarita, had another. And so because I have been on the microphone, I'm trying to chill. And so when we sit down, it's like, nah, Kip was, the encourager. Hey man, just go ahead and grab it. Go ahead and grab the mic. And so when you're doing karaoke, here's some tidbits for you, some things to help you out. Notice your crowd. Who's in your crowd? Okay, this is my crowd. Get a song you don't have to read. People forget that. And 4 minutes is a long time. So I look at the crowd. It's an older guy, look like Snoop Dogg's uncle with locks. He's like, hey brother, you're gonna do some Snoop Dogg. I was like, I'm not doing Snoop Dogg at all. So I told the DJ what to play. I say it's an oldie but a goodie, and I did, My Girl. And so the crowd can get into My Girl. Our audience definitely could get into My Girl because of the age. And you say the same thing to your bartenders and your waitresses. You let the crowd get into it, you sing back and forth, and then you just go, hey. But at first I didn't want to do it, but once that mic touches the hand, I feel the glow. And so it was fun, and it was a great time. And after that, that's when Cap really started to go, okay,
Oh man, he
okay,
opened up.
these
Like he was kind
guys,
of quiet at first,
these
right? It's like
guys
the
are with
second
it.
day, but
Yeah,
man,
these
after
guys are
that we
with it.
became family. Like
Yeah. And everybody's out there is awesome. Everybody's out there nice, and you got to go to the British Virgin Islands. Find Cap too. We'll tell you how to get in contact with him later.
tell me about the history of the British Virgin Islands. Like we went to the four was it
We
four
we,
hundred year
we,
old
we went to 400-year-old
distillery.
distillery
Just the people
owned
about
by the
slavery. I
Dutch.
mean, it was
Yeah,
like so much history. Like I said, we are kind of
yeah,
nerdy, right, as far as history. But I think we need to understand our history to see
yeah.
where we at now. So we did so a lot of
We
historical
did
stuff. We
the,
seen
we did the,
a lot. We went
did
to
the
the baths.
distillery.
Yep.
If you go to the distillery, it's $1 for the cup, $5 for all the beverages you can have, and they go through their process of how they distill rum, and that's one of the things we want to do when we get back. That's why I want to go back in March
Yep.
because the nerd in me wants to go back and see the whole process of taking the sugar cane, skinning the skin off, and the whole distillation process, and then go okay, and that's been there since the 1600s. And the Caps family's had it for the last 200. So it's like 400 years plus old. And it's just one of those spots that you can see, learn about how most of the people got there, enslaved Africans. They are the descendants of it. So it's a beautiful place, great food, beautiful water. Saba Rock was fun.
Absolutely. I mean, the people were so friendly, right? And there's people from all over the world. And it's funny, like we thought having a yacht, you kind of bougie, right? Like, oh, we on a yacht, private yacht. But it's crazy how down to earth everybody was.
Yeah.
We had people, I don't know where they was from, maybe from somewhere in Europe, but they jumped on our boat thinking,
Yeah,
I mean,
we had
we had shots with
we had
them.
shots with them on the way out. Everybody was getting off the boat. We saw them. We're like, hey, y'all need to come over here with us, take some shots later. And they were guys on the way back there. While I was trying to go to their boat, we was like, get over here. And they got right on, took a shot, went back to their boat. One of my favorite moments. We go to Willie T's place where he jumped off the boat. You have the bar and all that. Meet a bunch of guys. Go to the beach the next day. I'm walking with Candace, and the guy's like, hey man, hey, how you doing? I'm looking at her like, who is this guy? She's like, oh, that's the guy from Willie T's. I'm like, hey man, what's up? He goes, where's your boat? Now I've never had that question posed to me before. I was like, my boat? Oh yeah, it's over there. Where's your boat? Oh, it's around the corner at the cove. I was like, oh, too bad y'all couldn't get right here by us. But talking big stuff is just was everybody out there respects you in a certain way, especially everybody with their own yacht, catamaran, and everybody knows we're having fun. We're out here just gonna party, gonna drink, gonna snorkel, gonna whatever we're doing, and have a great time. And we had a great time. 4 people, actually 6 people, one boat. But once we had the structure of what we're gonna do, we didn't always have to be together on the boat. Y'all could be together doing your thing. We can be together doing our thing, and enough room and enough space and enough beverages. Y'all know what I mean when I say beverages.
And let me tell you, everything was inclusive. We had as much alcohol as we want, as much food as we want.
Can I talk about the one thing that was funny?
You
The,
can actually talk a few things because we almost died a couple of times on this.
well, not that. So we get on the boat. You tell everybody what you want. You know, just like below deck. I called it mid deck. And so Pia, who's the private chef and Cap's wife, she's looking for something she can't find it, and you can tell there's a problem. And we like, well, what's the problem? Because everything around here, the sun is good, the sand is good, and she was like, well, we can't find the bottles today. We're looking for the whiskey bottles.
Yep.
And we were kind of like, oh, okay. She's like, no, we had, according to the paperwork, we had 6 bottles of such and such whiskey. I was like, listen to me. I'm probably gonna be the only person on here that would drink that, so I think we'll be all right minus 6 bottles. And that was really the only thing, and it was more they wanted to make sure, walking on sunshine, by the way, if you look it up, Facebook, that we had everything that we needed. We went to the baths, and tell them about the baths and how you were a superhero.
So, our captain, when I say the captain only eats natural stuff from the ocean, like he's not eating any processed food at all. And if we catch a fish, we cooking it within 5 minutes of
Yep.
us catching it. So everything was super fresh. So we went to the baths, a very, very beautiful place. And then Captain came and picked us up in the tender, and he saw some shells. Was it? I don't know what
They call whelks.
whelks on side of these huge rocks.
Rocks.
So you have to jump out the water. Or you kind of can reach and grab them. They like little, kind of look like a little snail, right?
You've seen them. It's like a pinwheel towards the tip. It spirals into a cone. Look up whelks and Google the baths. BVI. That's what we call the British Virgin Islands now.
Yeah.
So yes, you check all that out and you find it. So as we're going through, first of all, we're all great swimmers by this point.
Except for me, I'm not the
Nah.
greatest swimmer, but I can survive. I can't save anybody, but I can save myself. That's how my swimming capabilities are.
So you got a hook on the line to get to the baths to swim in. We do that. We do the whole tourist thing. Kip will put all the pictures up. And Cap's like, I'm going to meet y'all on the other side. Just swim out. And I'm like, okay, we got to swim out there all through all the coral. So finally make that swim. And it's not easy getting back on the boat. You try to get on the tender or whatever little boat is, it's not that tough. And so he's like, hey guys, let's go get these whelks. And we're like, what are whelks? He's like, those things right there, it's a delicacy. And then Kip jumped into superhero mode. Tell him what you did.
So when Captain say do something, you kind of got to do it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
he don't play around. So I was like, man, and I like to go over the board. Y'all know I'm not average. Like, I like to go all out. So we picked the snails, but I couldn't reach some. And we seen like a whole bunch of them. So I kind of leaned out the boat, and I almost fell in. But luckily, my Sea Dog crew,
Sea dogs for life.
man, they grabbed me. Arm was holding me by my shorts, which I almost came off. I think my wife had one arm. Candace had another
Candace
arm.
had your
The
feet.
captain was like, damn, get back in the boat.
Get your butt back in the
maneuvering.
boat.
Yep. Finally got in. We had all these
Whelks.
right? So we get back to the boat. They already boiling them, right?
Yeah, Cap boils them 40 minutes, and you just, it's one of those experiences where you just try everything, and that's how you want to talk about the Sea Dog name come about?
And let's talk about the
All
Sea
right,
Dog
eating
name.
breakfast.
So now we have this crew.
Yeah, Sea Dogs
About
for
the Sea
life.
Dogs,
And you're
yeah.
going to tell me if it's right. I think we're eating breakfast, and I think Pia comes out with the toast with the avocado on it, and I was like calling it a sloppy Joe or something, or a Sea Dog, and we was like, hey, that sounds like a cool little name.
Yep.
And then the Sea Dog call started. Sea Dogs. Let me hear you howl. Ooh. And you got to do it. But that's one of those things that comes into play when you're just around people. And I think going on that trip, we were like, you know what? Even though I knew I loved, this young man and his wife, I think as a group, as couples now, we know that we really fooled each other. Because like you said, life or death, in
Man,
the water, almost having an incident.
Yep. It was an amazing trip. And that's just one of the trips.
Yeah, just one of the trips, yeah.
And y'all got definitely stay tuned into the new trips that we're about to have. We're going to have a calendar set for the whole upcoming year pretty soon. Armin is going to be a great tour guide. Look for our Houston tour guides as well. That's going to be hosted by Armin. When I say it's going to be entertaining and super fun, you can't miss out. Also, tell me about, I don't know if this is the first trip we went. I know we went to Austin, so it couldn't have been the first trip, but we went to Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas was
So
a quick weekend trip, but man, we did so much in this weekend, like the pool party, the art shows, the food.
So Vegas is a day after we land from coming back from Isla. So I had already did the chill coupley trip, 5.5, 6 stars. Shout out to Secrets Impression Isla Mujeres. Y'all can look it up. And so we land, take a nap, basically, wake up, and we got to get on this plane with Kip and Meredith. And we rushing to get there. Where y'all at? Hey, man, we waiting on this guy to pick up another person. And then They're sitting at the bar enjoying beverages, and it starts from there. We get on the plane, and I've never talked the whole time on the plane. And me and
Oh, I
Kip
forgot about
and these
Kip.
three guys or four guys are talking about what's going to happen in Vegas, why they going to Vegas, and this is just on the way there. Drink tickets, of course. Flirty little flight attendants. My gal ain't like that part. I'm like, hey, she cool. And so then we land, and it just goes from there. It was nonstop. Checking to the hotels. Shout out, thanks for the room. Gave us a better room than they had, and we just that whole night went out, had fun. The next day, more fun, Caesar's Palace, and nothing as close as it seems like they show you on the internet. The needle's not that close. And when you do these kind of trips, you're not even thinking about the money. You just everything's a memory. Remember that time, or getting lost coming out of Caesar's Palace. Like, where the hell we going? We
Absolutely.
down there coming up, and it was just once again fun. Just everybody's out there having a blast, and it's truly like one of those movies. You're having an adventure.
Absolutely. And man, what's so crazy about us? We talk to everybody. I mean, when I say we talk to everybody, we talk to everybody. It could be somebody homeless. It could be some kids.
Be
Whatever we
somebody
could do. I mean, I
dancing.
feel like we just like diversity. We like being friendly. We like knowing the culture. And I think from
Yeah.
traveling, we learn different cultures, different things about different folks from across the world. Um, so tell us, like, some of your experience about the cultures of people you've seen when traveling.
Just first thing when you're traveling, I got this experience when I was in Jamaica. You realize, hey, everybody's on vacation here. I forgot for whatever reason that people in Jamaica didn't. Yes, they go to the resorts too. Because I went to get some snorkel gear and they started speaking to me in Patois. I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm a Yankee. I am not a. I don't know what you just said. Slow it down. And then I always like when you go somewhere, connect with the locals if possible, if when safe, which is a lot of times. Most of these places are not as dangerous as they say. And before you go, you can always Google stuff. But then you learn about, especially being African American, you learn that what being a descendant of Africans is not the same everywhere. In a lot of other places, is culture. If you go to the DR, there's like 15 different shades of brown. That's a cultural thing. If you go to Haiti, you learn about them. That's a cultural thing. Trinidad. So a lot of times we want to identify everybody as Black American in a certain sense, but that's not that because, hey, I'm from Trinidad or hey, I'm Jamaican. And you're like, well, nah, you like, and it's like, I'm a little different. And there's nothing wrong with that because my experience here is not the same experience out there. But I know once you go to a bar, I don't care where you're from, you're going to sit, you're going to chat, you're going to talk, let that music play, you have a great time. Because it opens up the spirits when you drink a little spirit.
Absolutely. Well, before we close out, I'm gonna give Armin a chance to give some closing remarks, but definitely look out for our travel group. We're gonna do some special things this upcoming year, and man, I just want to say thank you
I appreciate it.
for being on the show, man. I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate it. I really value
Oh,
you,
yeah. Thank you,
as you
sir.
know, and man, thanks for
Yeah.
everything. Make sure you get them your
Yeah.
information so they can contact you and book you for
Well,
galas,
yeah.
weddings,
Yeah.
reception,
I've done it all.
quinceañeras, anything that you may have that has a mic. This is the guy you want on
So if you want the host with the most, and there's another guy that also hosts.
it.
Shout out to my boy Romar. You can find me on Facebook. Facebook at Arman Hoyle. Find me at Arman Hoyle on Instagram or Joe College. Just Google that. And if you need me, I'm there. And we'll give you more of the social media stuff once we get everything together for the trip. But I just want to say, I appreciate you, brother Kip. I appreciate your family. And I always want to give a big shout out to OM2H Creative Studios, One Marriage, Two Hustles. All right, there it is. So I appreciate y'all. Arman Hall.
Absolutely. So y'all know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again. Chat with Kip.